Although we live in southwestern Ontario, I was born and raised in the Fraser Valley in British Columbia, which is a nice, wonderful, sandy loam soil, zone 10. And then I moved here, and that's a whole different story. So where we are now is a blue clay. It's a Maryborough clay that as soon as it's wet, it is gumbo, it's gluey, it's horrible to walk in, it's slidey, it's slippery, it's horrible. Then for about 15 minutes, it's absolutely wonderful. And then it turns into stone, concrete with huge cracks that you can put your hand into. And it's just not a pretty thing to grow in. And carrots don't like to grow there because their little roots can't go anywhere, and daylily roots, and it's not fair to the plants. Hi, I'm Betty Fretz. My husband Marv and myself have Floral and Hardy Gardens. We're on the west coast of Conestoga Lake in southwestern Ontario, about 100 miles west of Toronto. How did I get into daylilies? Well, I'm an optometrist, and we were on an eye mission in 1991 in Nicaragua, and I got encephalitis, and so I was a very sick girl. And a number of years after I was very sick, I was told that I had probably 3 months or so that I might be partially sometimes able to be vertical, and I only had a maximum of 18 months to live. So we moved out to the country. My husband took me, wheelchair and all, to Canada Blooms, and there one of these wonderful vendors talked to me and actually convinced me to buy 2 daylilies. And I didn't know, I mean, they were awfully expensive, $5 each. But I bought them, and I thought, oh, what the heck, you know. So we planted them and put them where I could see them from my chair looking down towards the pond. And they were Siloam Double Classic and Custard Candy, and they still sit exactly where I put them. Let me think, that would have been maybe 1999, approximately. And so I would go and look out at the window, and nope, they weren't blooming. Go to the window, nope, they weren't blooming. Then one day it looked like, oh yeah, Siloam Double Classic was going to bloom. And I thought, oh, well, I can't see it very well from here because we were on the second floor of the house. And so it took me, I was pretty sick, and it took me about 5 hours to get out from where I was out to where the daylily was. And then I was so exhausted, my husband brought a garden swing, and I slept there for about 3 hours. And then he came and got me, and it took me about 4 or 5 more hours to get back upstairs. So that daylily really took me a whole day to experience. But I thought, okay, whew, done. Daylily's done. That's it. That's all I need to worry about. Well, the next day it bloomed again. Well, now this is silly. So now I had to go do it again. And so every day that those 2 daylilies bloomed, I went out to see them. And it was amazing therapy. And it was one of those things where I thought, well, you know, if God can give that plant that much to do just for 10 hours that it blooms, surely I can put that much energy into getting out there to look at it. Well, the next year we bought another daylily from the same person, another $5, but we moved it farther away. So now I had to go to another window to see it, and then it just kind of grew. And then I went to a daylily auction, and I learned how to put up my hand, and I bought too many daylilies. Now we have about 3,500 daylilies, and it's a lot of years later, and I can easily walk 5 miles, and I do just fine, and I am a healthy, happy person, and I love my daylilies. Well, we started out with one little bed, and it was tough putting that together. I garden by appointment sometimes. I point, other people do, and that's how our first beds came through, and we had one, and I bought all of, I don't know, probably 10 daylilies at this auction. And my husband just, he shook his head, but he's such a dear, and he put them in for me, and I'd want this one over here or this one over there. And daylilies are so incredible because they're just all about the promise of what you're going to have there, and they're really not predictable. So that was one bed, and it was maybe 15 feet long and 2 feet wide. And when we moved here, all we had was heifer pasture, so there was fences and our house, and that's all there was. There were no gardens, there was no lawn, there was no anything. And so it kind of evolved a little bit, and the bed got a little bigger, and then, well, honey, I need a little bit bigger bed, and then the grass would go into it, and then he would start using the Roundup, and that wasn't a very good thing. And so we started putting edges on the beds, because we have this deal where I take care of the live things and he takes care of the dead things, and usually things will go from the live to the dead pretty easily, but not very easily the other way around. And so now the beds got bigger and bigger, and then we decided that, well, maybe we should have a path in between, but he has to be able to drive his lawnmower, and well, now we have 59 display beds, and we're an AHS display garden, and it has taken a lot of years. And we've added maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 beds a year sometimes. And I add too many daylilies, and I need more rooms again. I just absolutely adore going outside and seeing all these plants, and I just can't help but grin ear to ear. And it doesn't take very long, and my cheeks hurt. And so it's like a real cheek-hurting experience to get out there every morning. I always head for the seedlings first, because it's new, and I don't know what to expect. And I'm a little expressive on occasions, and I'll go, oh, look at that, oh, look at this. And we're in the country, so I don't really have to restrain myself. I don't have neighbors around. And my poor hubby gets a little embarrassed on occasion and says, Betty, there are people around somewhere. They're going to hear you. And so my response to him is simply, honey, you're 68 years old, and if they think that I'm squealing like that, they might just think it's you, and don't argue. At first, I think I was like almost everybody else and put in like 10,000 seedlings or seeds, and then you start cutting back and cutting back. And so I guess now I probably create 8 to 10,000 seeds a year. How many of them make it into the beds? That's a whole different thing. I probably plant about 2,000. I don't know why it is that so many people who own daylilies feel like they have to hybridize. I don't understand it. I do it too. But what is it about a daylily that makes people feel like they have to create something? Is it because it's only there for a day? It's only there for 10 or 12 hours, and it's got all this amazing beauty. It's got all this energy. Are we trying to do something with that? It's an incredible thing. How many people are hybridizing? Why are they doing it? It's exciting. We all do it. I don't know. One of my hybridizing goals is really to bring joy to people. And it's really, really important to me that we can serve other people in some sort of way. One of the reasons I hybridize is to create something unique for someone else. It's not really for me. I work with and donate plants to the Cancer Society and hospice and hospitals and private individuals, and generally as a memorial or something for someone that they've lost. And that really has helped a number of people through their grieving process. And to me, that's a really important gift that I can give them. That's probably as much of a hybridizing goal as I think I have. I love daylilies. I wouldn't have 3,500 cultivars and 10,000 seedlings if I didn't really enjoy and love this plant. But I don't really, it is just a plant. I think the most important thing about daylilies is what we see in them and what they make us see. All the energy and joy, 10 hours, 12 hours, some a little more, that comes from that fresh every day, new every morning. That's where the excitement for me is, that to see all the creation that's in them, the power, the energy, and the beauty, and the joy that it brings other people. I think that's where the real power and excitement in a daylily is. To me, one of the most important things about daylilies is the people that I've met and the influence they've been on my life. And part of that has been in the discipline and the process of actually hybridizing. People like Carol Emmerich and her goals and visions, and Phil Korth with exactly what he's trying to put forth in daylilies, Brian Culver and Sandy Holmes. These people have really shown me a great deal about their focus and their emphasis in various different areas, and that can be in plant habit, or it can be in your planning goals, your life goals. And I think people portray so much, even in the way they choose names for their plants, in what their goals are for their lives and how they feel about other people. And I think that's where the plant has its real value, is that it allows us to create a message through it and with it. Daylilies have given me so many rewarding moments. They're the times that you explain to someone that you can actually eat these petals, and the look on their face when the first time they, I can't do that. And then it turns to, is that really good? And can I have another one? And the whole teaching, mentoring people through this is just awesome. And then they suddenly, well, can I do that? And can you show me how to do this? And so that to me is really rewarding. And then people come in and, oh yeah, I just want a $2 plant and I just have a little spot to put it. And 2-3 years later, they're buying plants and they're excited about how they're going to put their garden together. And the cool thing is that the joy and excitement and cheek-hurting fun that I have, other people are beginning to experience. And to me, that is the most wonderful part of daylilies, they're fresh and new every day, and they give you fresh and new experiences every day, and that you can pass that on to other people is such a gift.